Charleston, along with much of East Central Illinois, became a winter wonderland over the weekend. Bitterly cold temperatures and snowfall that we see on our tower cam here. Now it'll be quite the opposite story this week, warming temperatures and even the chance for a little bit of rain. Also tonight,
a controversial bill becomes law in Illinois. Critics call the practice assisted suicide, but one mother applauds the governor for supporting the legislation. We'll hear her story coming up.
Plus, an urgent manhunt is underway after a mass shooting over the weekend at a Rhode Island university. We'll have the latest. This is News Watch, and your Monday's edition starts now.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
Well, the work week is starting off pretty breezy and cold, but don't fret, warmer weather is on the way. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Bennett.
And I'm Andrew Spade. I think we can all agree some warmer weather is a must. Ben?
I agree, Andrew. Warmer weather is a must, and I'll have plenty of talk about warmer weather. But just for a second, let's look back on just how cold these temperatures were this weekend. The overnight lows in through this morning, negative 12 degrees in some of our communities, including Paris, Indicator. For us in Charleston, negative 5 degrees for our low. Our high yesterday was only up to 10 degrees in Charleston, and that breaks an over 100-year-old record set back in 1917. Our old record for our coldest high temperature was 12 degrees set in 1917, 10 degrees for our high. For perspective, 43 degrees is our average 30-year high for December 14th. So that's just in perspective to just how cold those temperatures were. But temperatures back on the rise today, 29 degrees in Charleston and above freezing to the south in Effingham. This warm-up will continue. Just how warm will we get? I'll have that answer coming up.
Thanks, Ben. This weekend's weather came with crashes around Illinois, some of them deadly. Illinois State Police say troopers responded to a 7-unit crash on Interstate 57 southbound just north of Mattoon before 10 Saturday morning. They confirm one person died and another was taken to an area hospital with injuries. Police say the crash involved 5 commercial vehicles and 2 passenger vehicles. The Salvation Army in Mattoon reports they provided shelter to 48 passengers stranded by crashes and weather. First responders responded to a variety of calls in the wintry weather. The Lincoln Fire Protection District in Coles County says their dive team was called out before 5:30 Friday morning on reports of a car in a pond. They say no one was in the car, but Tommy Evans and Kara Bapp had been earlier in the day. Evans says they hit a patch of black ice and the car left the road and landed upside down in the pond. He says they got out and survived the worst nightmare.
Illinois is the latest state to legalize physician-assisted deaths for terminally ill patients.
Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the controversial measure, the Medical Aid and Dying Bill, into law on Friday. It goes into effect next September.
Evelyn Holmes has more on the bill's strict requirements for patients and doctors.
I think it's something that will benefit all.
Susie Flack applauds the signing into law of the Medical Aid and Dying Bill. Her son Andrew passed away from terminal cancer in California in 2022, where it is legal for him to use a medical aid to end his life.
It provides another option for end-of-life care, and no one is expecting those who don't believe in this bill to utilize that option, but it is available for someone who needs it.
The controversial plan allows some adults who are dying of a terminal illness the option of medically assisted death. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the legislation into law, saying, in part in a statement, today Illinois honors their strength and courage by enacting legislation that enables patients faced with debilitating terminal illnesses to make a decision in consultation with a doctor calendar that helps them avoid unnecessary pain and suffering at the end of their lives. But some are still critical of the measure. In a statement, the Catholic Conference of Illinois said, in part, the signing of the bill into law puts Illinois on a dangerous and heartbreaking path, one that legitimizes suicide as a valid solution for life's challenges. Others remain concerned about the amount of people who could gain access to the end-of-life drug.
For people with disabilities, one, is the right to live, not just a right to die.
The law doesn't require a healthcare professional to participate. It does make it a felony to coerce anyone into requesting the medication or if they forge a request. To qualify, patients must have a terminal illness that will result in death within 6 months as determined by 2 physicians. Be informed by their physician about all of their end-of-life care options. Have the mental capacity confirmed by their physician to make medical decisions, and patients are the only ones allowed to request the medication.
Medically assisted death is already authorized in 11 states and the District of Columbia. In other health-related news, holiday cheer may not be the only thing spreading cheer this year. According to the CDC, in early December, flu-like symptoms rose to 3.2%. This is above the threshold that signals flu season is underway. The majority of these are caused by a variant called subclade K. Doctors say the best way to protect yourself is to get the flu shot. While the new variant isn't included in this year's vaccine, doctors say it seems to be working pretty well. If you're ordering gifts online, you may only have a couple shopping days left. According to the Postal Service, you'll need to send packages by Wednesday in order to get them delivered before the holiday. Paying for priority mail will get you until next Thursday, and Priority Mail Express will get you until next Saturday. However, these are only estimates, so it's wise to send them a few days early, as well as allowing extra days for items going outside the U.S.
The Powerball jackpot has climbed to $1.1 billion. Now that makes it the second largest of the year and the 12th jackpot to cross $1 billion in the past 5 years. While no one took home the billion-dollar jackpot, there were some that didn't leave empty-handed. 5 ticket holders won $1 million and 2 won $2 million. The jackpot pool this time was just over $503 million before taxes, a growth of $74 million since Wednesday. The next drawing is set for Monday evening. A legendary actor from Danville turned 100 over the weekend. That actor is Dick Van Dyke. He's best known for his roles in Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and of course, The Dick Van Dyke Show. Van Dyke was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame in 1995 and has won 4 Primetime Emmys, a Tony, and a Grammy. So, what did he do for his big day? According to People magazine, Van Dyke's wife says he just stayed home to watch Jeopardy Returns. We start the week off with some pretty breezy and cold weather.
But warmer air is returning, and back with the preview is Ben Whitney.
Still significantly warmer than what we saw this weekend, but still below average for many of us. 21 degrees right now in Chicago, already up to 41 degrees in St. Louis. We're going to be seeing that big warm up continuing. We could even see temperatures like the deep south is seeing as soon as later this week. We'll have the details coming up.
Years ago, I stood in this very studio for the first time, just as today's WEIU Newswatch students do. I was nervous, excited, and ready to learn. But WEIU believed in me. As a Newswatch alum, I learned how to tell stories that matter. I found my voice here. Today, WEIU needs your help to keep that same opportunity alive for the next student, the next story, and the next 40 years. Please consider giving using one of the methods on your screen. WEIU needs you now more than ever.
Good evening. A very wintry weekend we just had in East Central Illinois. Snowfall on Friday and on Saturday. You can see the totals from Saturday's event here. 6 inches of total snowfall indicator, 5.5 inches in Tuscola. Many of us were above 3 inches, including in Charleston, where we finished up just below 4.5 inches for our totals on Saturday. And that's in addition to what's already been a historically wet start to our winter season. Between November 1st and today for this year, we've already seen 20 inches of snowfall. Now for the average 12-month period, the calendar year, we only expect to see around 19 inches over that same period. So what we've seen in the past month and a half compares to what we would usually see over the entire year in Charleston. Now, the average time between November 1st and today, only around 1.5 inches for total snowfall. So again, just a historically wet start to our winter season here in Charleston. Those temperatures were much warmer today, though. 29 degrees in Charleston, 26 degrees in Champaign, and one of our communities, Effingham, did just barely manage to get above the freezing point, 33 degrees for the high down south. Everyone saw a significant warm up from yesterday, though, near a 30-degree difference between this time yesterday and today. Temperatures this time on yesterday were already down into the negatives across the area. Now, thankfully, we won't be seeing negative temperatures for a little while across the area. Down back into the teens, though, for our overnight low, 19 for the low in Charleston. We will be staying clear overnight tonight. Maybe the passing cloud or two throughout the skies, but nothing much to see. And southern winds will be continuing. They started ramping up a little bit this afternoon. They'll be coming in up to 20 miles an hour overnight tonight. Those winds will strengthen a little bit during the day tomorrow, promoting that warmer air to come into the area. And you can see that promotion here on our forecast for tomorrow. 35 degrees for our high, so back above freezing in Charleston. And again, that's due to these south winds strengthening around 10 to 15 miles an hour during the midday portions of tomorrow. We'll see a sunny morning period for many of us, though we will start to see a few clouds moving back into the area as the sun begins to set for your day tomorrow. And you can see that on our futurecast here right now. A couple of spare clouds. You will see some moving in and out throughout the night, but generally speaking, we will be staying clear for a lot of the day on Tuesday. You can see those clouds make their way into our area overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday. We'll see a little bit cloudier of a day Wednesday, but temperatures will still continue to warm up. As you can see here on our 5-day forecast, temperatures back near the 30 or back into the 40s nearly for Wednesday. Temperatures could even be close to 50 degrees on Thursday. You can see a big drop off between Thursday and Friday. This is significant because this is a cold front coming through, but also our next chance for rain in the Skywatch forecast. After that, we'll see these temperatures dropping back into the 20s. You can see that trough that's going to be driving that cool down here on our jet stream model. We've been staying mostly east to west outside of this weekend where we did see a couple of troughs move through. We will be seeing a trough coming back over our area into Thursday. Again, that's going to be bringing with it rain chances and that cool down into Friday. Now, past that, temperatures will be back on the rise, back near the 40s for the official start of winter, which is officially 6 days away. 6 days from the winter solstice this Sunday on December 21st. That is the official start of winter, and also the day that we will finally start seeing our daylight increasing in East Central Illinois for the first time since June. And looking at our 7-day forecast again, temperatures are going to be warming up gradually over the week. 33 degrees on Wednesday, 52 degrees on Thursday. The system moving through is going to be bringing in some warmer air. And after that moves out 26 degrees to end our work week, but back up to the mid 40s for Saturday, and another chance for rain with temperatures around 46 on Monday. That's a look at your Skywatch forecast. Now back to the anchor desk.
Thank you, Ben. Topping tonight's National Watch, the manhunt continues for a third day in the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. 2 students were killed and 9 others injured.
This is after a person of interest was detained in connection with the attack and then released. Rhode Island's Attorney General now says evidence points in a different direction. Michael Yoshida reports.
An unidentified killer is still on the loose after a mass shooting Saturday at Brown University.
A lot of people found a lot of relief in knowing that the authorities had caught this person and recovered the weapons that this person may have used. And now to know that he may still be on the street is extremely scary.
The community in Providence, Rhode Island, on edge from the whiplash.
Obviously, we're disappointed that the person of interest who had been detained needed to be released because of the evidence that had been examined, and it's a setback, to be clear. We don't believe that there's an imminent threat to public safety here in the city of Providence.
While authorities continue to try and identify the motive behind the attack and the person in this brief video clip that they believe is connected to the shooting, those on the Ivy League campus are in mourning.
What I do know is that Brown's grieving, I'm grieving.
Freshman Kamari Mann says one of the victims was his roommate.
Just a ball of joy, ball of energy. The loss of him would be felt throughout this community because his soul truly did reverberate throughout the community.
Vice President J.D. Vance called the student a brilliant young man who dreamed of being a surgeon, and in a statement posted about victim Ella Cook, said our country has lost one of its bright young stars. In Providence, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
The Brown University shooting follows at least 75 school shootings in the United States this year. So far in 2025, there have been at least 391 mass shootings and nearly 14,000 shooting deaths nationwide. That's according to reports from Gun Violence Archive. In other national news, a legendary Hollywood filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife are found stabbed to death in their home. The Reiner's 32-year-old son Nick is in jail, but no other details are being released at this time. Police say the couple lived in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Rob Reiner is considered one of the best American filmmakers of all time. His directing credits included classics from several genres, including The Princess Bride, Stand By Me, A Few Good Men, and When Harry Met Sally. Before turning to directing, Reiner was an actor, most notably known for his role as Archie Bunker's son-in-law on the TV show All in the Family.
Thank you, Olivia. Now time for sports. The Chicago Bears look to bounce back from last week's heartbreaking loss to the Packers. And your eyes aren't deceiving you. That's Philip Rivers in an NFL uniform in 2025. We'll have the highlights from his grand return right after this. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch Report is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Larry Smith, second-generation EIU Panther and a proud alum of the WEIU program. For nearly 4 decades, I've had the privilege of reporting on some of the biggest stories of my generation, from getting to know so many East Central Illinoisans to a quarter century on the anchor desks at CNN Sports and Turner Sports, covering major events worldwide, championship celebrations, and even presidential inaugurations. It's been a career that has far exceeded even my wildest dreams. One that would not have been possible without WEIU, which finds itself in peril. Recent legislation in Washington took away the program's federal funding. So on their behalf, I'm asking you to consider making a donation. WEIU is one of the best training grounds in the nation for students who have a passion for journalism, broadcasting, radio, TV production, and they're worth your gift. You can find more info at weiu.net. Thank you in advance for your gift.
The Fighting Illini football team will be without a key player for the upcoming Music City Bowl. All Big Ten left tackle J.C. Davis has decided to opt out of the game to prepare for the NFL draft. Davis is ranked as one of the best offensive linemen in the country and is riding 49 consecutive collegiate starts. Linebacker Gabe Jackas will also miss the game ahead of the 2026 draft, while quarterback Luke Altmaier announced he will play on December 30th. Illinois qualified for the 22nd bowl game in program history and the third under head coach Brett Bielema. Now to a frigid Soldier Field as the Chicago Bears are coming off a loss against Green Bay, but now a struggling Cleveland Browns squad comes to town. Chicago goes up by 7 in the first, but Caleb Iceman Williams lays this one right in the basket, and DJ Moore collects his first touchdown of the day. I hope you're hungry because the Bears defense is serving some turnovers as DeMarco Jackson collects the first interception of his NFL career. This weather is nothing for the Iceman. The first play after Jackson's interception, Williams rips it to the end zone, and it's none other than DJ Moore who makes a stunning catch in traffic. It's a new era in Chicago. Even the Grinch is having a great time. Now it's Cleveland's turn. Shedeur Sanders throws this beautiful touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy, but Jalen Johnson says thank you very much and takes the ball right out of Judy's hands. Chicago wins this one 31-3 and now has won 10 of its last 12 games. Up next, the Bears will stay at home taking on Green Bay Saturday night. It's one of the most anticipated returns in NFL history. 44-year-old Philip Rivers is back, and his first test is against a brutally tough Seattle Seahawks defense. 5 years removed from his last touchdown pass, Rivers finds Josh Downs in the end zone for the score, and his teammates go bananas. It's Grandpa Rivers' 422nd touchdown throw in his legendary career, and it puts the Colts in front. Indy's defense holds Seattle to 0 touchdowns on the day, but Jason Myers drills his 5th field goal in the 4th to give the Seahawks a 2-point lead with 2 minutes to go. With the game on the line, Philip Rivers throws an absolute dot to Alec Pierce. A new kicker, Blake Grupe, buries a 60-yard field goal, and it looks like the Colts are going to win. But Sam Darnold gets Seattle in field goal range, and Myers drains a 56-yard game winner as Rivers' historic comeback falls just short of a monster upset. The Seahawks narrowly escape, winning 18-16 over the Colts. Still riding high after winning over Ohio State, a ranked Fighting Illini men's basketball team tries to keep pace against an undefeated Nebraska squad. Can they hand the Cornhuskers their first loss of the season? We start this one off in the first half. Nebraska is off to a hot start, and it continues with this three from Price Stanford to make it a 14-point lead. But the Illini find a way to fight back, and this shot from Kylan Boswell ties the game right before halftime, and the crowd is going crazy. This game is down to the wire. The Cornhuskers are up by 7 until Keaton Wagler drains this heavily contested three to cut the lead with just 2 minutes left. And it's in the hands of the Illini again, but it gives it to Tomislav Vesic, who hits this three, and it ties the game with 17 seconds on the clock. Now with just 6 seconds, Nebraska has a chance to end this one, and that's exactly what they do, as Jamarcus Loris calls game with this sidestep three, and the Cornhuskers win it 83-80. Although the men's team lost, the Illinois women's basketball team is having one of the best starts in decades. The Illini host the Mean Green of North Texas to try to win their 10th game this season. Tipping things off, forward Barry Wallace takes the rock and can't be stopped, working her way in and making the tough layup shot. What Wallace can do from up close, she can also do from 3, adding to her 28 points on the night. Sierra Parchment is in tight space, but finds Jasmine Brownhager, who sinks this clean jumper to keep the offense rolling. With this ball up for grabs, Maddie Weber gets it and takes it down the court herself, pulling up and sinking the shot. She stay consistent and make a similar shot a few moments later, making it 16 points total. The Illini grab an 81-69 win to move to 10-1, the program's best start in more than 40 years. They'll have a few days off before they take on Jackson State Friday night. Moving on to Eastern Illinois hoops, both the men's and women's teams have big road games against some tough opponents. Let's have a look at how they did. The men's team went up against the 4th-ranked team in the nation, Iowa State. The Panthers kept it close before the Cyclones went on a 26-9 run to close the first half, eventually winning 78-53. As for the women, they faced the 5-6 Butler Bulldogs on the road. Ella Loon led the team in scoring with 16 points, but it wasn't enough as EIU fell to the Bulldogs 74-52. Both teams open up OVC play on Thursday night at home against SIUE, with the women's game at 3 and the men's game at 5:30. Now for some high school boys basketball as the Charleston Trojans play their second conference matchup of the season. In the first quarter, Taylorville gets off to a hot start, putting up 9 straight points. But now it's Tyler Oakley feeding the ball to Christian Hayes, and the Trojans are on the board. CHS puts up more points, but now watch out for the Tornadoes as Patrick Curtin gets the steal, and he takes it all the way for the basket, getting the and one. The Tornadoes are up by 11. Now Hayes feeds Oakley, and he puts it up, getting the two-pointer, and he gets a trip to the free throw line, but Charleston is still down by 10. It's Oakley yet again hitting this nasty mid-range jumper, but Taylorville gets the last laugh though, winning this one 50-30. First-year Charleston head coach Colin McInerney says he's proud of the team effort.
I think our guys played hard. That's all I ask of them every game. We know we're young, we know we're inexperienced, but as long as they play their guts out every single night, I'm going to be happy. I think we got a lot of guys in. We got some good minutes from some bench guys to build some confidence moving forward later in the season. So I think that was big for our guys too.
Following the loss, Charleston drops to 2-6, while Taylorville improves to 2-3. Up next, the Trojans stay at home to host Kelowna Unity tomorrow night at 7. As for the Tornadoes, they'll stay in Coles County and play Mattoon on Friday. Finally tonight, former Illinois head coach Mike White has passed away at the age of 89. White coached the Illini from 1980 to 1987. He led Illinois to 3 bowl games, including the 1984 Rose Bowl game. That's all for sports. Olivia, over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. And finally tonight, Denny's is rolling out a new promotional product, and this one is not a new Grand Slam holiday meal. The diner is releasing limited edition shoes called Sticky Kicks. They are the first ever sneakers made with real Denny's syrup. So the high top shoes were designed with syrup color patent leather, tumbled yellow accents, and the Denny's logo on the heel. Sticky Kicks will be available starting on December 17th at dinerdrip.com. Denny says only a few fans will be able to buy the $195 shoes. The actual syrup, sealed in a clear panel, is purely decorative, and Denny's is warning customers not to try to eat it. So don't try to eat it. You know, maybe by the end of the week, we'll be back to wearing tennis shoes, hopefully not Sticky Kicks, instead of snow boots. Ben Whitney is back with a final check of the Skywatch forecast.
You will get to put those snow boots up here pretty soon, Olivia. These temperatures are going to be warming, meaning that snow's finally going to be melting off. Overnight tonight, though, 19 degrees for our overnight low. We will be staying clear. Winds coming in from the south around 5 to 10 miles an hour consistently, though they could be getting up to 20 miles an hour throughout the night tonight. Winds will strengthen a little bit more tomorrow, promoting that warm up that we'll see tomorrow. 35 degrees for our high for your Tuesday. We'll see a clear sunrise or clear sunlight period for many of us. though towards the evening hours after sunset, we'll start to see some cloud cover moving back into the area, but that won't be stopping our warm-up as we look ahead. 33 degrees for Wednesday and temperatures back near the 50s for Thursday. Now that does come with the chance for some rain showers, and after that system moves through, the cold front paired with that system will be causing temperatures to drop back below freezing, but only temporarily. 45 degrees to start the weekend, 39 degrees for the first official day of the winter season. And for Monday, the possibility for some scattered showers with temperatures still sitting in the mid-40s. That's been a final look at your Skywatch forecast. Andrew, Olivia, back to you.
Thanks, Ben. That's all the time we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch.
BBC News is coming up next on WEIU. And later tonight, we'll recap Newswatch just before 10. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.